Welcome back, everybody, to Crows of Judgment. And because I got coaxed into starting early, I started 30 seconds late tonight. How is everybody doing? I am genuinely curious because I have been having quite a day, mostly from work, honestly. Just a ton of stuff at work. But we we got a lot we're going to talk about tonight. So, for those of you who've been watching for a while, you know I'm good friends with John from Toy Bounty Hunters, and I was on his channel last night. We went further into talking about the FNAF situation with Scott Cawthon, and I did a video about it. I went through the Reddit for Five Nights at Freddy's. I went through, I tried to show some of the deleted threads and the things that have been locked up so you kind of see what was going on there, and then read through his response to everything. But one thing I didn't do was pull up articles. In fact, I read through some of the articles after the fact. And John went through the PC Gamer article and everything, but I want to go through it on stream with you guys tonight, and maybe even read some of them. We'll pull them up, and we can go over them together. But if you were there for John's stream, consider it a taste of what you're getting tonight. And as far as the CreepShow art stuff, I hope you guys did tune in for the video that we have posted early this morning. I stayed up super late when I recorded it. I think it was, I think I recorded it like 1 in the morning because I saw the stuff dropping and I was like, this is really interesting. But I saw some of the comments on the video, and I can kind of tell they're not from the usual audience. But let's see here. I got called a sexist, which was pretty funny. Or someone said that they thought that I was a sexist. So we'll talk about that too. But let me be very clear about one thing that I did do in the video, and I actually do regret doing it. I pulled up the thread from Kevin, and I am going to send Get Your Ass on the Stream. I gave you the link. Get your ass in here. I pulled up the thread from Kevin, who was a former friend of Shannon's, and I thought that I made it clear as I could why I thought that thread was good, but I don't think people really understood why, so I want to dig into it a little bit more. But on top of that, I regret that I didn't use the proper pronouns for Kevin. That's about it. It was 1 in the morning. I saw the name Kevin. I know that they had the pronouns in the name and everything. I missed it. It was my bad. There you go. That's my statement on it. But other than that, I thought that I praised Kevin for actually coming forward with this stuff, and I'll explain why I think it's important. But when I mentioned the fucking, I mentioned that there was one thing in the video that I posted where I said, this looks like the closest thing you can get to a smoking gun in the situation. It wasn't really about Kevin's thread. It was actually about True Sleuth's video. True Sleuth's video showed a clip of Shannon, which was from another person's stream or interview with Shannon, in which Shannon outed the name of the library where she would regularly use. And it's the same library that Emily says she IP traced sock puppet accounts to. I think that would be the closest thing you could get to a smoking gun. Because it is certainly within the realm of possibility that the same person who is cyber stalking Emily is also using the fucking the same library, and they're using it at the same time that Shannon is using it, right? But come on. But come on. Come on. Like, I acknowledge it's within the realm of possibility. I do. But I looked at that. I looked at Kevin's thread, and I was like, here's basically what you have, right? You have Kevin showing a message that they sent to Shannon. Sorry, that they had sent to Shannon, and in the thread, the message that Kevin sends was sent in October, right? And I acknowledge that Kevin could have faked that screenshot, right? Kevin could have never sent that screenshot over, but Kevin also shows that when they saved that message, right, there's a date from when it was saved, and that date is from October 2020. So, yeah, Occam's razor, exactly, Seagull. For Shannon to be innocent of all of this, right, and for Kevin's messages to be faked, right? Essentially, what would need to have happened is Kevin would have had to have been in contact with Emily, and the two of them would have had to have schemed and plotted. So Kevin either sends the message to Shannon, or Kevin creates this fake DM to Shannon, saves it in October with the intent of releasing it months and months later, right? I think that that's a little asinine and absurd, but it's possible. Just like it's also completely asinine and absurd that the same person cyber stalking Emily is fucking using the same library that Shannon is at the same time, right? Does anyone believe that? Like, does anyone believe that, right? No, I mean, you can falsify IP address locations, but I doubt that's what happened. I mean, look, it's possible, but, you know, I try to rationalize out things, right? Because when I look at any situation on the channel, right, when Aura looks at any situation on the channel that we've talked about, we do try to rationalize, what if it's not true, right? How could it not be true, okay? And generally, like with the Louis Caliber situation, we pointed out all the issues, right, with everything being said about Louis, okay, in regards to the accusations of trying to sext with a minor, right? And there's just a ton. There's a ton of fucking issues with it. But you look at this shit with Shannon, there's literally like one or two explanations, but they are so absurd. And it would literally mean somebody's playing fucking, I'm not even 40 chess, like 10th dimensional chess, right? Someone is playing 10th dimensional chess to set Shannon up. That's nuts. That's fucking nuts. Oh, man. Someone said, what is it? Fucking Diorio is destroying T channels. I want to see that. I want to see that. Who's he destroying right now? Hold on. Is it on Twitter? Someone said there's a hashtag or something. Let me see. How is he destroying T channels right now? Is he? Oh no. Oh no. Gabby Hanna. What is this? What is this? He's on stream. I don't want to stream snipe him, but I do want to check out what's going on now. I'll have to watch it later. They're exposing Trisha and Gabby Hanna haters. Okay, I saw the funniest interaction on Twitter today, and I really want to pull it up. Seagull says, thank you for the super chat. If Shannon didn't do it, then I guess the Babadook did or something. The Babadook did it! Guys, it wasn't Shannon. It was the Babadook. The Babadook was the 10-year-old stalker all along. Can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine that? Jesus. Like, it's so fucking nuts. It's so fucking absurd. I'm going to rant for a little bit, right? I'm gonna rant for a little bit, and I hope you guys appreciate the rants and everything. But you guys said stream snipe. I'll play. Okay, let me see. Let me see. They're either doing it on. He's doing it on his main channel. What is this? It's a bunch of texts from fucking Trisha. Oh God, Stan, Gabby, Hannah. What is this? What is this? Send. Okay, all right. I'll see you in a little bit, buddy. Holy shit. Okay, all right. I gotta pull this shit up. What is this? Oh God. Oh fucking God. They are trending. Oh no. They stand Gabby Hannah. That makes them monsters. This shit's fucking hilarious. Don't let them say that Gabby is misgendering anyone, sis. Okay. All right. I mean, all right. Look, okay, here's the thing, right? If Trisha has pronouns that are she, her, and they, them, then Gabby can use any of those pronouns, right? Like that's what's in Trisha's profile, right? Like I mean, right? Am I dumb? Like am I dumb? I probably am. Someone clip that and just throw that in my face all the fucking time. But like, am I fucking stupid here? What the fuck is this, right? I mean, like, look, if they post both, then just use whichever one you want to use, I guess, right? Like that seems fair to me. But I know this wasn't the stream topic. This shit's funny. Okay, I gotta find the shit that they were posting today. Oh God. Okay, here we go. It was this conversation with Bowblocks, and I gotta find the original thread. But what is this? Dustin Daly. I don't know who this is, but I watched them roast the ever-loving shit out of the guy. But he called Bowblocks homophobic and racist. And I love this. Good. You know what? Good on Bowblocks, right? I've literally, you know, I've had like one bad interaction with Bowblocks, and it was just the shit with Grim and Shannon and everything. But I've literally never seen Bowblocks say anything fucking derogatory towards any community. He seems very he seems to know what he's doing. But got homophobic, so he pulled up like all these old tweets. Good for him. Oh, that's great. That's fucking great. And then he blocks him. Oh, who is Dustin Daly? I want to. Oh, Dustin, sweetie. Don't go after these guys, Dustin. Jesus. I gotta find this shit though. I really gotta find this shit. Hold on. Like you gotta see. I was dying today. Oh, did he do? No, baby. There we go. Okay. So here we go. Let me find. You can see there was a lot of back and forth here, right? Gabby is obsessive with Trisha at this point. She's a fucking psycho. And then it's literally just them going through his fucking channel. Look at all the Gabby Hannah videos. Look at them. Oh. This poor video quality. Oh, is this all Trisha? Hold on. Oh no! that is fucking hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. 3 days. Oh, that's his Twitter. Let's see if he's had any statements about getting fucking destroyed today. The Daily. Okay, hold on. Let's let me pull this up really quick. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's his Twitter. Oh, pinned tweet, Trisha. Oh man, I think he is obsessed with Trisha and Gabby. Oh man, oh fucking man, that's beautiful. That's fucking beautiful. Well, I gotta check out that stream later. That sounds like so much fun. At Dexavin, can't cancel Crows of Judgment if War is part of it. Exactly. Exactly. What is this? Yo, Crow, you should put your pronouns as fee, fi, fo, fum. I'm tempted sometimes. You know, if someone wants to do they, them, whatever. Like, it's tough when it does become a little tough with certain sentences in which I guess you just have to repeatedly say their name, which is essentially what I'm going to try doing when we read through Kevin's thread. And I will apologize in advance if I slip up. It's literally not me trying to be an asshole. I think you all know when I want to be an asshole, I will be an asshole. But if I slip up on it, I am going to I'm going to preemptively apologize, but I will do my absolute best to be a Crow on his best behavior tonight. So let's see here. I literally had it pulled up earlier today. Let's see here. Okay, go back to my channel, get the name of the Twitter account. I am doing this very old school tonight, which is completely unprepared. Okay, so Kevin Coulter. Okay, I don't know if I don't know if they've said anything today about any of this stuff, but let's pull up their Twitter account. Crow, you better stay woke. Yeah, be on my best behavior tonight. So look, you know what? I said I was going to rant. I want to say something before I actually go into this, right? And this is directed towards the art community as a fucking whole, right? If you want people to cover Emily's situation and you want them to be as honest as possible about it, seriously, shut the fuck up with calling people sexist and racist and homophobic and all this other shit, right? Shut the fuck up about it, right? Like, I've never seen a situation get so fucking derailed by the art community stands. Like, you're not helping Emily's case out at fucking all. And look, I had someone leave a comment on my video today. I don't think it was meant to be snarky in any way, shape, or form, right? I really don't think that's what they were trying to do, just to be as clear as I can. But the comment was like, I hope you've changed your opinion on Emily's video. And I did not change my opinion on Emily's video. I guess they were upset that I criticized the formatting, and I'm still critical of it. You know, when Emily was on Twitter talking about it, right? When Emily was on Twitter going over how she was going to drop the video, she mentioned several times that she would be dropping the fucking receipts, right? So when I saw the video, and the very first part of the video is her saying that she doesn't have receipts for the majority of what she's going to be talking about. Look, it was set up like this was going to be this like massive expose, and it turned out to be a video about her personal experience with Shannon, which, hey, if that's what the video is, perfectly fine. I even said it. It's a good video for a personal experience video. It is long though. And I thought, like, if she wants to upload this video and then do smaller segments, like a whole fucking thing of videos on Emily, fuck you, on Shannon, do it. Like, do it. I don't care if she gets accused for fucking milking it. She absolutely should. She absolutely should. She should milk the fuck out of this situation, right? Because from what I can see, she's been cyberstalked. She's been harassed. Shannon's a fucking creep, right? And she's been doing it to Emily for fucking years, right? Why shouldn't Emily go and upload fucking videos just destroying that bitch's reputation and making sure that she can never crawl back out of the fucking sewage that spawned her filthy ass, right? Like, why shouldn't she be doing that, right? I think that she fucking should, okay? But the way that video was presented, it wasn't good, okay? To the point where when we played it on stream, like Aura is groaning because like we're gonna watch the entire new thing. I'm like, yeah, because I didn't want to miss anything. But even the people supporting Emily were like, dude, skip to this part. And I'm like, if Emily supporters are on my stream telling me to skip parts of the video, like whole fucking segments of the video, right? Like, that's not a good video, right? It's not a good video to expose somebody. It's a good personal experience video. And you know what? After all the shit that we've seen her been there, good on her for fucking doing it, right? But if you tell everyone that you're going to be dropping these receipts and shit, and then you don't show up with them, like, of course you're going to be criticized, right? And if you have people in the commentary community like criticizing her for it, like just take the criticism. It's totally fine, right? I don't think anyone said that they thought that she was lying, right? I never said I believed her, right? I did. Like, I thought that what she presented was compelling, but it was circumstantial. And a lot of it was fluff that didn't really contribute to what she was trying to present. But yeah, exactly. I do believe Emily, but it's still circumstantial evidence. Exactly, right? And look, oh my gosh. The Tommy C debate with the chain smoking lady, right? I watched that and I was like, my fucking head is about to fucking explode, right? Because I'm sitting there looking at this shit and she's going like, it's a smoking gun. I'm like, look, it's not. And then she's going like, the stuff that just dropped today, that's the smoking gun. And I'm like, was a smoking gun in Emily's video? Is a smoking gun what just happened now? Like, even I have to say, the only thing that I can say is at least the closest thing you can get to a smoking gun in this situation is legitimately True Sleuth's video, right? And in it, True Sleuth is showing Shannon telling everybody where she was, right? Which is the same library that Emily says she traced the IP of these sock puppet accounts to. Good. That's good. That's great, right? Abso-fucking-lutely. That'd be the closest thing you have to a smoking gun. But, like, that was just very recent, right? And that's why I want to do my video, because I was like, dude, that's major. That's huge. That to me validates a ton of what Emily is saying, right? But it's, to be fair, that's not in Emily's video either, you know? I don't understand these people in the art community, because you completely derailed a ton of the fucking conversation on what Shannon is doing. Instead, you're going over there attacking people who are like mildly criticizing it, right? And then look, you think that they're not going to turn around and go ahead and slap you across the face, right? Like, you really thought that wasn't going to happen? I was blown away by it. Honestly, blown away by it. Now, they're Trash Crow. Yep. Anyways. Let's talk about what I really want to talk about, which is the Kevin's threat, right? And I don't think Kevin has talked about anything else. Okay, here we go. So this is something that wasn't a part of the original thread, right? It was posted later. But a couple quick things, right? And it's going to relate back to when we go through Kevin's thread. But as you can see here, these messages that Kevin sent to Shannon, right, talking about how Shannon had been cyberbullying and stalking someone, you can see the messages were saved October 12th, 2020, right? So for these to have been faked to set Shannon up, that would mean, right, that Kevin and Emily, right, are scheming together, okay? I think it's a little absurd. And if someone can show me that they were in contact back in October, right? Because according to Kevin, Kevin only just recently reached out to Emily, then there you go. And if somebody has that, fucking present it to me, right? If somebody has that, show it to me. And that changes this story entirely, right? But I really don't think that's true, right? I really don't think that's true. But if someone has can show me that Kevin and Emily were in contact beforehand, then that would be the only thing I could say really discredits what Kevin's saying. Also, this somewhat important too. October 12th, 2020, around the exact same time that Kevin saved those screenshots of the conversation, Kevin was texting one of their friends. And as you can see here, a terrible person from my past just started following me on Twitch and Twitter. Uh-oh. Yikes. I'm sorry. Is it blank? Who? That person just followed me, so I thought that that'd be wild. Oh, no. Her name is Shannon, October 11th, right? And so the text conversations he saved are October 12th. So they sent these messages. I'm really trying, okay? They sent these messages October 12th, right? And yeah, I want to read through the thread again, okay? Because this thread by itself is completely meaningless, right? By itself, it's completely meaningless because never in the messages to Shannon does Kevin bring up Emily's name, right? Never in the messages to Shannon does Kevin bring up Emily's name. Okay. But knowing what Emily presented, right, which was a lot of speculatory information and circumstantial evidence, having this contributing to it validates a ton of that, right? To me, at least. And I'm sure other people feel differently. And I will openly admit right now to everybody that I have a large bias against Shannon, okay? Just to be as clear as I can, because I don't want people thinking that I have no opinions on Shannon. I've thought for the longest time that Shannon is a gross, disgusting person. I thought that Shannon is someone who uses her homelessness situation to garner sympathy and as a weapon to attack people with, right? I've thought that for the longest time. So when I saw Emily Artful's video, a lot of it validated things that I already thought about Shannon, right? So for me, maybe that's why I was willing to believe it, okay? Even though I admit that a lot of the stuff in there is circumstantial and it is speculative. But seeing this from Kevin, and this is why I praise Kevin for coming forward, it validates Emily's video. It validates a lot of the speculative nature of some of her claims, right? Sorry, I'm watching the chat going through, guys. Again, I don't know why people give so much power. Hey, people do. Look, honestly, the one thing that I don't think you can ever get me to respect are things like neo-pronouns, like the je, j'aime, je. That type of stuff is just so far fucking removed from my mentality. I don't think you will ever find me saying anything nice. But I was thinking about it, right, with people that are trans and everything. And for me, I was always like, well, if somebody puts in the effort to transition and everything, and I don't see why I wouldn't use those pronouns for it, right? That's just always been my mentality on it. Yeah, they're actual neo pronouns and shit, right? And it's I don't know Kevin. I literally don't know anything about Kevin. So maybe Kevin does present themselves as both. I have no clue. I don't know this person. So for just the sake of that, I'm not going to sit there and just be a prick. Like, I'm not, right? But I could be that way. I could. It's just, you know, you get married and your heart softens up a little bit. That cold black lump of coal got a nice little spark in it. I'm wanting to be a nicer person. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure none of you believe that, but it's cool. I think the True Sleuth stuff was the most compelling stuff, in my opinion. It's Shannon in her own words that correlate to Emily's story. Exactly. That's why when I got a comment saying that I was being sexist because I didn't believe Emily, and I never said I didn't. I never said that I fucking didn't. But I was only believing Kevin. And I'm like, no. Like, the person that pushed me over the edge was True Sleuth, who I'm assuming identifies as female. Like, it was a female voice. I don't know anything about True Sleuth either, just to be fair. But like, that's what brought me over the edge to say, like, I'm very fucking confident in saying that Shannon did this shit to Emily, right? Because she shows Shannon saying it in her own fucking words. And I will pull that up from her video so we can watch it together again. But let me read through these statements and clarify as much as I can. Such a shock, all this to everyone. Oh, wait, no, it isn't. Steve was right. Steve, how are you doing? Wait, Steve, honestly, I've never seen you comment on CreepShow or any of this stuff. So if you have any opinions, you let me know and I'll pull them up on screen. Because holy shit, I actually want your opinion on this shit, man. I really do. But let me start reading through this thread and point out like why I think it validates Emily's story. Before we get into like the only thing here that I think is like the closest you can get to a smoking gun in a situation like this, right? I never thought I'd find myself related to a situation like this, but I'm absolutely in the business of holding people accountable for their actions. So I'd like to share what I know about the situation between CreepShow Art and Emily Artful. In the interest of preventing doxing, I'm not going to include any information that might put someone in danger. But if it becomes necessary for either a court case or if things get wildly out of control, I can provide more specifics. So during my video, I praised Kevin for not doing something that could lead to somebody getting doxed, right? Because I fucking hate doxers. I fucking hate doxing, right? And like, I don't know how to say it, right? I said, you know, Emily cannot show the IPs in her video because that will get booted off YouTube. I didn't criticize her for not showing the fucking IPs. She can't show the fucking IPs. I believe that she's telling the truth. And again, I acknowledge Emily could be lying and never actually trace the IPs. It's just, I am taking her at her word that she did trace those IPs to the library, right? I don't expect her to put the fucking IP out there for everybody because that could lead to Emily getting into some really bad situation, right? But gosh, I shouldn't even bring it up. I didn't even get why people took issues with that, but they fucking did. I have been staying out, but this is all too much to just keep silent upon. The hole goes so deep, it is a rabbit hole of fuckery, man. Dude, Steve, do you want an invite? Like, I really want your opinion on this stuff, man. Dude, it's nuts. It's fucking nuts. Oh, man. IP was the same from the library that Shannon said she would hang out at, and I have no doubt Emily has that number if someone really wanted to verify. Right? I don't disbelieve Emily when she says that she verified the IP, right? Because it seems like she's been working on this for a very long time because she's being harassed by Shannon for a very, very long time. Like, it's absurd to me. It's absurd to me to think that she would make that shit up, right? I just feel like, man. Okay, yeah, Steve, I'll shoot you over the StreamYard link. You just have to click on it, and it'll bring you in. So let me send that to you on Twitter. Da 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 da. There you go, man. You guys want to hop on Discord? John, if you're watching right now, we'll hop on Discord later. Whoopsie. Sorry. I yeeted myself from the stream there for a second. I'll take it out. Don't worry. I'll take it out in editing. Yeah, I do suck at this. Like, look, hey, let me be very clear. I never have an issue if my stuff gets leaked. I never say anything in DMs that I'm not comfortable saying in fucking public. But to respect other people's privacy, I will do better. Okay. But yeah, let's go back into the Twitter thread. Yikes. I yeeted myself from my own fucking stream there for a second. Yeah, boomer move, bra moment. I openly admit to just being fucking awful. So let me get back into that thread. Jesus. Oh man. I told you I had nothing prepared for tonight. I wanted to just go into the stuff we've talked about and dig into the FNAF situation more. Let me here we go. Back into the thread. There we go. Okay. So again, as far as Kevin not wanting to post anything that could lead to someone getting doxxed, I am totally comfortable with that. And I can understand why they wouldn't present something that could lead to that happening. Hey, Steve.
Hey, okay, boomer moment. What are you thinking? DMs. Just show everybody's DMs out there. Nobody's going to care about that. It's okay. No, I don't care. Like I think what I do, I invited you to like a rum and coke, I think, in our DMs.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. It's so weird because people think, God, there's so much going on behind the scenes between people. And what they say in DM is most times like, hey, dude, what are you doing? You want to hang out? Cool.
I know, right? Like, you want to hang out on Discord? I'm like, yeah, let's hang out on Discord.
I'd be so bored if people knew what people really did, in their on YouTube. But anyways, yeah. So my 2 cents. Look, I'm doing an episode on this on the 24th, and Chester and I have been doing, research on it because, we had a run-in with CreepShow. Basically, I didn't want anything to do with her. I recognized the fact that she was a bully, and she had, made a video about me, which I just recently watched. I didn't watch it before, and it got like 317,000 views or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I didn't care. I'm not into that stuff. I don't do the drama. You know that. I do science, I do philosophy. Drama, I don't give a shit about. All the other YouTubers can do that. But, I initially, thought that she might have been an honest agent. And so I came to her, with, hey, I have some criticisms about some of the things you're saying. And I recognized very quickly she wasn't interested in that. She did not care about criticisms because she wasn't interested in the truth. She had a very specific type of school of thought that many YouTubers unfortunately have. As long as it gets views, truth is irrelevant. And I knew that she was a bully, and I stopped having anything to do with her. I did engage with her once on Augie's channel, just to be kind of to placate a little bit, because you don't know what some of these people are capable of, and you try to be as nice as possible because I've seen what she can do. I knew what she was capable of. But when I saw the Emily Artful video, my heart pretty much left my body. That was terrifying, to say the least.
Oh my God, it's insane, right? It's literally insane. I don't know any other way to fucking describe that shit. I mean, like, before, actually, I want your opinion on this, right?
Sure.
let me take this off the screen for a second. The whole lolcow situation that really started Shannon's decline, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had read some of the messages, right? But this girl was running multiple accounts on that site and having conversations with herself, right? That's
correct. Yeah, she was pretending to be somebody else, and I think a lot of it probably came from things that she was actually doing to Emily, that she was using to apply to herself, saying that things were happening to herself. Then she was using lolcow as this, as anonymous, saying, "Oh, talking about herself in the third person and talking about situations with." I don't think she realized that lolcow, even though I have absolutely nothing to do with that site, but I will say I am impressed they had enough integrity to say, "Look, we even have standards, and you're not allowed to do this on our site, and we are going to out you for it."
Yeah. Like, I mean, dude, it's she doxed her fucking sister on that site, right?
It's reprehensible, the things she was doing on there, but she was using it as a site to weaponize against her critics and people that spoke out against her. I know I'm on lolcow. People use lolcow against me, right? I mean, she started. I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't read any of those. I think there was 296 things that came from her. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Because I have been following this, but this is the first time I've spoken out it publicly. So thank you for the invite. It's been a while, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Hey, always good talking to you.
It's a lot of fun.
And so I haven't read, whether she did any of that stuff to me, which is quite possible because all that crap on lolcow, obviously that is to fabricate drama. It is to attack people. But even they say, look, it is for other people to come attack and make, attacks. You cannot lie about you having oh, I'm not that person. I'm some other person that has the same IP address. You just can't do that. So I guess there's honor among thieves. I guess there's honor among trolls, kind of thing, I guess. Right.
Yeah. Like, and like, I don't know anything really about lolcow. I was told it's like an image board website.
Yeah. It's like Kiwi Farms. They just basically, it's all about character assassination.
Yeah, which, I mean, look, if a site like that's going to exist, of course it's going to exist. It's the fucking internet. There's some
you know what you're getting yourself into, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when you're on YouTube, you know that there are going to be people out there. They're just not good people. I mean, come on. Yeah.
No, and look, I at first when that stuff dropped, I was like, look, if she just says, yeah, I did it, but fuck you, I don't like these people.
That would have been a better way to go.
Exactly. I was like, just do that. Everybody knows you're a bitch already. Just own it.
That would at least played into her strength. Hey, look, I am a bitch. I made no bones about it. I'm a bitch. I play a bitch on YouTube, and I am a bitch in real life. What do you expect? People would have been like, yeah, well, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like just fucking own it at that point. Right. But instead, my stalker Amy has been IP spoofing me.
Oh my god, that's not how IP spoofing works. That's not how any of this works. And she mentioned something about VPN too, and I'm like, that's not how VPN works either. You're not going to have the same fucking IP address for like a year, and you can't just IP spoof like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make it appear to be this. It doesn't work like that. I mean, and I'm sure she has no experience with any, types of DNS, IP configurations, or she doesn't understand any of that internet stuff. So I don't know why she thinks that all of a sudden she gets throw these terms out there. Oh, I was IP spoofed.
Yeah, okay. No, look.
Were you on a backbone of the Cisco router or something? When did this happen?
I think her hope was like people wouldn't really look into it, because when she gets caught into drama, right, and it's usually shit that she starts with other people, she tries to fall back onto something else, right? I was traumatized with being homeless, so you're an asshole.
Shit, right? She made herself. Her and Anthony said we're going to be homeless because we're planning on this, and then she tried to see. Okay. Oh my god, fuck,
dude, that was actually one of the best parts from the Emily Artful video, as far as like just exposing how two-faced
I went back that bitch is twice, and I'm like, did I hear this correctly?
Dude, no joke. When I saw that, I was like, I have to do a video just about this, because back in December, January, one of our good friends, Grim, who's been on our streams before, he told Shannon, you were a nicer person when you were homeless, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a snarky fucking thing to say, but she went after him like fucking crazy,
right?
Yes. Said, this person is bringing up my homelessness to traumatize me. And here's actually really something that's hilarious. that's why she deleted her Twitter account, right? She said that she was deactivating because people were bringing up the stress from when she was homeless, referring to Grim. And Grim got like shit on by everybody over it, right? But actually, one thing's funny is when she tried to give her explanation for this person IP spoofing her mystery stalker and everything, she said that it was because the stalker that she deactivated her Twitter. I'm like, that's not true. That's not fucking true. I was fucking there, you lying bitch. I was fucking there for that shit, right? So I was like, you fucking did this. Everybody knows you fucking did this, and you are so bad. But I'm like, I'm glad all that stuff happened, because the thing is, Shannon's not a smart person. What she is someone who's got a ton of fucking time on her hands, and someone who is just fucking vindictive and malicious.
Yeah, she's manipulative, and she has a skill set that I've noticed that a manipulative personality people have. And what they do is they know how to manipulate people that have high emotional things and high empathy and things of that nature. And they take advantage of the good people, and then the bad people just play into it because they like to see the drama. But what they'll do is say, look, I was homeless, and then Grim was making fun of me, and that made me very upset and triggered me that I was homeless. She plays into that because she knows it's going to get a response for that. She knows there's people out there that are going to go, oh my God, why would Grim do this? Why would he say these awful things to try to trigger her, blah, 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 Starkey or not? It's funny. But it was. But that's how cult leaders work. And I'm trying to say she's a cult leader, but that's how the same manipulative techniques that they use. And you know what I do on my channel. I've been debunking shit for since 2013 and exposing these kind of behaviors. And so I'm well familiar with them. My radar into I got 55 Bravo Charlie on my fucking head radar kind of stuff. And I noticed this with her, and I noticed people that associate with her. A lot of them have this kind of personality thing. But they know how to play their audience. And what's happening now is the people that recognized they were being played, they got smart, and they said, no, wait, we're done with this. We're not gonna be her little bitch. And when she says, oh, I was so traumatized by this, that's played out. That's done. She can't use that any longer because people know she's shit. And so she's losing subs. But you know what? Let me ask you this, Crow.
Yes.
The people that haven't left yet that know about these things, the people that have supported her, the people that came to my channel, just spam the shit out of my channel rather than come to me and say, hey, Steve, Shannon made a video about you. Would you like to address it? Would you like to talk about it? Because I hadn't really seen it. So, what was in it? And I'll address if you want to know the facts. Always come to me. Everybody knows they come to me directly. No, her fandom didn't do that. Her toxic fandom came in and just spammed the shit out of my fucking YouTube channel, which, again, I do science videos. I'm not interested in second grade drama bullshit. Right. And so I was like, dude, blocking people left and right. Like, oh, look at Steve. He's blocking people. I'm like, because it's not, my channel's not for that bullshit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I know, like, right.
But she said people, I mean, I swear to God, she's like, she always says, like, don't go after people. Bullshit. I mean, when you have a video that has, when she had 317,000 views on a video about me, that was so, after I did watch, I was like, holy shit, this is nonsense. What is she, 12? But of course, she's going to have people come over to my channel and just, splurge over it. I'm like, this is stupid. Don't come to my channel for that bullshit. If you want to go, hey, Steve, I heard this. What do you think about it? What are your opinions? I love it. You know that. You just did it here. Hey, Steve, want your opinion? Okay, I'll give it to you. Now you got
It's okay. It's okay. I believe me. I'm the same way. But like, fucking dude, right? Okay, so I just. It's so fucking nuts, right? When you think about it, it's just so.
You don't think she's going to see? Here's the thing: we're like no big thing on YouTube, right? We're not up at that echelon, the A-listers, And so she's not really going to come after us now. This is why I think we're able to speak about it and don't feel fear about reprisal, right? Because she's going to more worried about fucking Emily's video, right? I mean, that got 1 million views almost, and it's informative and it has the receipts. That's what she's concerned about. So I think a lot of people that she's had problems with in the past are more willing to speak out now because what are they going to do? We're not that big. I mean,
Oh, so. I like the thing is I've never I don't have issues calling someone an asshole when they're being an asshole, right? Like I
haven't either, but
no, I get what you mean though. Like
I do it politely though. Hey, look, I'm not saying you're a dumb motherfucker. I'm just saying that you're not competent enough to do this skill set that you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, see, I am not that polite. But like, no, like, you know, I get what you mean, right? Like for me, I've never really cared about calling somebody out when I think that they've done something wrong. And it doesn't matter to me fucking channel size or whatever. But for a lot of people, because, you know, YouTube is like a side thing for me, right? For other people, this is everything.
This is my life. Yeah,
Exactly.
I live off YouTube. I've never made any bones about it.
So it's like getting into a psychotic battle with a sociopath like fucking Shannon.
Yeah,
no, it's not. It's just not, right? But now she's like, it's been building up for fucking years. And this girl is not smart at all. So she's left breadcrumbs. And like someone actually asked me, because in Emily's video, she did like the counters and everything. When the counters were like, you know, breadcrumbs, I'm like, yeah, Shannon leaves a lot of them. Like she's fuck.
And also, you know, there's, as you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. Tangentially, people don't realize that there's a lot of interrelationship between people on the internet. It's not just like that A-lister stuff. You know, she had, you know, Katie Joy was talking to her. She was talking to Nate Brody. She was talking to Kyle. As you know, Kyle has a civil contempt hearing on the 25th. And you know, he was
on the 25th.
Yeah, on the 25th. So there's a whole bunch related, because all of them were trying to weaponize each other, right? Kyle was trying to weaponize, you know, Uni, and Uni was trying to weaponize Shannon, and Shannon was trying to weaponize Uni. It's like all of them just seem to weaponize. And
hey, Steve, you want to know something funny? Like,
what's that?
You want something really funny? Randomly, Unirock has been showing up to some of our streams.
Oh yeah, he does. He makes fake accounts. I mean,
no, like nothing negative. He like just tunes and goes, "Hey, what's up, guys?" I'm like,
yeah, that guy. Holy shit, man. But yeah, it's funny because you know, Kyle's lost hearing is in like 10 days, and he's gonna get arrested. I mean, he literally committed fraud. He committed perjury. He altered evidence. That's big stuff. And I've been focused on that for a year now. I haven't had time to. I never wanted to deal with CreepShow, and so when she
you got bigger shit going on.
Yeah. And so when
absolutely.
This started happening, I was paying attention, but I wasn't going to say anything. I've been in a few chats here and there, but you know, I was watching your stuff, and then I was lurking, and I was like, oh, this is just too much, man. I've been watching. I had to say so. This is the first time I've really spoken out about it. I was afraid to before.
The Crows of Judgment is a safe space, sir. You can express your opinion.
Yeah, well, I wasn't worried about your fandom. I was worried about her toxic fandom. Like I said, I'm not worried about. She's not going to come after me after all the big people coming after her.
Look, even if she tried to come after you or me, literally anyone at this point,
it wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't. Like, this bitch has lost like 100,000 subs in like under 2 weeks.
That's more than the Non Sequitur show last. When Kyle kicked me off the show, my own show, we dropped like 7,000 subs that came over to my other channel. But you know, that channel.
Well, we talk about like massive sub losses and everything. The only thing I can think is anything close to similar is like when Call Me Carson and Pyrocynical were both being accused of being like groomers and shit, right? And we're talking like million sub channels. They lost about that many subs in that amount of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so I think there was one other. Did Monday Matt lose a lot of subs?
The Rock guy?
No, Mundane Matt.
I
think he lost a lot of subs too. I don't know, man. I'm going to be on Drunken Peasants on the 26th, and I wonder if this is going to be a topic that I should bring up.
Oh, you gotta bring it up. You have to bring it up.
I don't know, Ben. I don't know if Ben's been following any of the CreepShow shit.
I mean, I just, the thing is.
Yeah, Matt Jarbo lost 50,000. So one of your mods said, yep.
Oh, wait, okay. Is which one's the Rock guy? Is it Matt Jarbo?
I don't know.
Or is it Matt Jarbo, the Mundane Matt?
Mundane Matt is Matt Jarbo, isn't it?
Oh, okay. Who's the fucking Rock guy?
I have a hard time with those. Like I said, I don't really get into the whole commentary community stuff and all those things. It's just not of an interest of mine. There are some people that do it that I am friends with that I like very much. I know like one person has like 350,000 subs or something like that. And he's doing a video on CreepShow and Kyle in the same video, which is going to be brutal for Kyle, because I was like, that's a bad timing, all this stuff going on with CreepShow, so people are watching that, and then you have Kyle, who basically
Oh.
fucked over thousands of people, you know.
No,
Much was a rock guy.
The Boulder King. Yeah, Boulder King.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, who's the fucking rock guy then?
I know. Exactly. There we go. Yeah.
Okay, so like, just talking about like the lolcow stuff, right? Because that was pretty bad for her, right? You know, you see just absolutely insane fucking behavior. She doxed her fucking family member. I mean, just some trashy, terrible fucking things.
Yeah, and
right?
her husband, what he had, I mean, with stalking and
I'm just before we even get into that part, right?
Just the
lolcow, just the lolcow stuff, right? That was bad, right?
That was bad, yeah.
And I think her original mentality was like, okay, I'm just gonna say it was my stalker. I'm gonna take a break for like 2 weeks. Then I'm gonna come back, upload a video with a big sob story about my harassment, right? You know, just more bullshit, right?
Right.
And I think in her head that was gonna work. I don't think that she ever in a million years thought Emily Artful was gonna jump on her fucking back in that moment, right? And talking about like striking when the iron is hot, like Emily fucking nailed that bitch to a cross.
Well, yeah, but Emily's timing was perfect because her timing was absolutely perfect. And because when lolcow released that information, it wasn't from like Emily. It wasn't from, you know, some other commentator. It was from the source.
Exactly. Now going into this thread here, right? This guy is this. I use guy for everybody. That's okay. This guy here is like a former friend of Shannon's, right? And according to Kevin, back when they were in back when they were in like community college together, Shannon was obsessed with Emily, right? Mm-hmm. And Shannon was like talking about trying to get her personal information, trying to get her phone number, all this sort of shit, right? And I thought the most compelling piece in this thread was showing this message that was sent in October to Shannon, in which Kevin specifically brings up her cyber stalking, bullying, and harassing someone, right?
And when was that? What was the date on that? 2000 something?
This was October 2020, right?
2020. Okay.
Yeah. And Kevin also showed like the text messages before they'd responded to Shannon, right? Showing this conversation of, you know, hey, this person from my past has come back and I don't know what to do about it. Her name is Shannon, right? Mm-hmm. So the timing and everything specifically places that back in October, right? Okay. They also showed that when they saved the screenshots, right? They saved it in October, okay? So if this is fake, right, it would mean that Kevin and Emily were like scheming and conspiring, doing Shannon level fucking shit. And I just don't buy that.
That requires so much. Look, here's the thing. The people that do these weird machinations type of things that have the skill set to do it, they can do it because this is my personal belief. Again, take it for what it's worth. But I've been around toxic people for a very long time. I've dealt with narcissists for a very long time. I've dated narcissists. I've got a partner who's a narcissist. I get the full on aspect of sociopathy and psychopathy, and they know how to manipulate people. They think that everybody else is doing what they're doing because they have to do it to survive. They have to pretend to be decent people because they know they're not, and so they have to put on this facade and they have to fake pretending to be decent, and they think kind of everybody else is kind of doing the same thing. And so they do try to think, oh, look, this either A, this person is actually doing this shit, or B, I can just say that they're actually doing this shit, and the other people who probably do the similar things are going to believe me because of it. That's how they know how to play it, because they live their lives.
Yeah, like I just, there's no way, right? There's no way, unless someone can show me a conversation that took place at any point before these messages were saved between Kevin and Emily.
Not gonna happen.
It's not going to happen, right?
No,
like that is just that's another level of absurdity that you would need to jump to for Shannon to be in the clear on this one. But in these messages, you can see Kevin confronting Shannon over her cyber stalking, bullying, and harassing someone. And by itself, this wouldn't mean anything. But when you put it into Kevin's statements and Emily Artful's video going over the years of being harassed by Shannon, yeah, I think it's entirely relevant. Now, again, to be clear, this isn't a smoking gun either, right? It isn't. It's very compelling with the other things that Emily has shown, right? Absolutely. But you also have fucking Shannon on somebody else's video telling everyone the library she used to go to.
Yep.
In Shannon's own words, like this is nobody else. This isn't even the crazy ex-boyfriend or whoever, right?
Yep.
This
I heard
Shannon's, Shannon's own
in her own voice.
Words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's not just, okay, any one thing is not necessarily a smoking gun. You have to take everything together as what's called a consilience of evidence. And so when you have this consilience where things just fall into place, there's nothing that incongruent with anything else. When a story is true, things tend to just blend together like a jigsaw puzzle, right? When things are not true, the jigsaw puzzle never makes a picture that makes any sense. This is how you determine when people are actually lying. People know that for years now, everything I've ever said about my case has been absolutely true because there's a consilience there with other people that were involved. Same thing when I listened to Emily's Artful's video. I don't know her from fuck all. I've never heard of her before, to be honest with you. There was a ring of truth in everything she said that I was like, holy cow, I don't sense a single bit of deception. And everything she said had a consilience from other things that I've heard from Shannon herself about Shannon and what she did to me. It all blended together, right? So again, it doesn't have to be one smoking gun, but it was a just perfect storm of all these things happening at the same time, where all these stories had congruence with each other, right? That was the big thing.
I got to address one thing here, and I'm so fucking glad I don't have to keep doing this because it's hard for me to do it, right? Apparently, I no longer have to use the they them for Kevin because on Kevin's own website, he uses his pronouns. Okay, thank you for pointing that out to me. Thank you.
It's funny. I've had I read one person get upset.
I was getting all these fucking comments on my video about not using the proper pronouns, and I'm on his fucking website.
Yeah, people white knight for other people, and I don't get it. I remember one time where we were talking about who was that? Oh my goodness. A very strong SJW that goes by Peter, Ethel, or oh my goodness, it's been so long. See how much I give a crap about some of these people. Essence of Thought, and they use any pronoun. He even said, I don't care if you call me he, she, or they. It doesn't matter. That's from his own words. And so I've always known him as Peter, and he. And that's what I go by. And I've had people correct me. No, they go by this or that. I'm like, no, stop it. You go to their page and they say, we don't give a shit what pronoun you use. Stop doing it for other people unless you're absolutely positively sure. It's just annoying at that point.
I know. I was like, okay, let me just make the statement. Yeah, I am vindicated. Yeah. But like I was like, just make the statement.
My pronoun is God. Call me God. It's okay.
I can't because I believe in the law.
I'm agnostic. So
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm the world's worst atheist because I'm not an atheist and I'm not a theist. And people confuse the shit out of me by these labels. And I'm like, dude, just say, don't worry about the label. Go about positions, It's like pronouns. If somebody really cares that much, they'll tell you. If not, don't get upset.
Well, look, I wanted to again, the reason why I wanted to address that is just so we could focus on Kevin's thread and everything, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not, to be fair, it's not like Kevin reached out to me and criticized me for it. It's like just random fucking
right.
people.
That'd be a little bit different.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, if Kevin did reach out to me, I would have just apologized, right? Because I try not to start shit with people for the sake of starting shit with them. But seeing that on his website,
exactly.
I'm going to use the general pronouns for.
Well, also on Twitter, you'll see. I use dude a lot. I've used dude all my life. That's people know me.
I use dude for everybody.
Yeah,
dude and guy for everybody.
Yeah, and and also yes, I assume some people are male, and I just be like, he said this, blah blah, and they say, oh no, she, and I'm like, okay, and then I change it to she. No big deal. That's how you fix it. But then you have people go, Steve didn't read my bio and misgendered me, and everybody's like, fuck off. Nobody reads your people's bios. If you get misgendered, you say the proper gender and they fix it. That is how you go about these things. It's not complicated.
Oh, dude.
Oh my god, is that golden unicorn?
Yes.
Oh my God, what is she doing? Yay! I didn't know. How'd you find us over here? How'd you do that? She's good.
Apparently, I've never seen Golden. Well, maybe I have. You know, I try to remember everybody, but there's some people who only occasionally show up. So
I love Golden Unicorn.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Golden Unicorn. You got a shout out from Steve.
Oh, we're besties. She's a Patreon friend.
Good.
I'm almost in real life friend because we're gonna get her out to the States after the COVID stuff. But yeah, she's amazing.
All right. So let me go back into the thread.
Yeah.
I can stop policing my speech. Jesus fucking Christ.
And you can call me anything you want. I don't care. I've been called everything.
Can I call you uncle?
Yeah, call me daddy, preferred, but
I can't because everybody knows John's my daddy.
Yeah, who's your daddy? John.
All right, so
go ahead.
Going back through this thread. So he says, I met Shannon my freshman year of college in 2011. We shared an English class and worked on a group project together. Outside of that, at the time, we didn't have much contact. I ended up leaving that school and attending community college close to my home. So this is pretty much where they meet, is at community college. According to Kevin, at this time, he was dealing with his own situation. He had his own abuser. I don't know anything about the situation, though, right? I don't. It's not like they've gone into great detail about it, and I don't think it's super important to the story. Thank you for the super chat. We besties, Steve worships.
I do. It's so funny too. I'm just going to say it. There is a person I am in love with. I've been for like 2 years. And yet people think that like he's going to Unicorn and I have a thing. And it's just like, if I'd be flattered, I'd be like, oh yeah, God, we love that. But no, it's like, no, I don't understand how people like do that. It's like, just because we happen to be very close and I love her to death. People think that like we're having this weird salacious thing. And it's like, I'd be cool with it. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say no, but it's not, it's like, how do people make this shit up? It's weird.
No, like, dude.
Maybe they do it with you and I. They're like, hey, you hear Steve was on Crow's channel, man? I think they got something going on. You know?
Oh, maybe. Like I should have really put out a community post. Be like, Steve's in the chat. Oh man.
you know how many trolls it would be over here?
Oh, probably, but that's just more views and engagement.
I don't even care these days. Look, all the fuckery's been coming out, all the truths have been coming out, all the things that people have been saying for years have been coming out that's wrong and right. You know, us being the ones that have been trying to do the right thing. I'm fine with it anymore. These trolls don't bother me. They went after people I cared about. That's why I stopped. That's why I just put the brakes on a lot of that stuff. And I didn't want to talk about anything on anybody's channel, even especially my own, is that they went after people that I cared about, people that I love. And that one of them left Twitter because of it. And deleted her Facebook. And I mean, that's how reprehensible these people are. And I sure the hell didn't want CreepShow's fucking toxic fandom doing the same shit. So I don't involve myself with these psychos, you know?
No, I look.
Good luck, you do. You can have them. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I gotta say though, I tried to be fair. Like, look, I tried to avoid the art community as a whole where Shannon exists in, because it's some of the most intolerant shit that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
right?
I was on Augie's channel once. You remember him?
Yeah. Augie's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have, it's not negative or positive to him. I just don't think he's a kid and I don't like any of his content.
I told that to his face and he was like, yeah.
He's a kid. And I'm a 51-year-old man. I don't give a flying fuck about what's drama happening with the 23-year-olds. But, I was on his show that once and, and people started to come back on me because I was filing a lawsuit against Kyle, and that whatever fucking name he was. Start coming after me. You're suing over a YouTube channel. I'm like, no, I'm suing over $30,000. That's not over $100,000. I was like, I'm not allowed to sue somebody for that kind of money. If that's not, something you should sue over, you give me the 30 grand. We'll call it a day, right? I'm happy with that. Of course, that wasn't going to happen, but
no, obviously.
But anyway, back to Kevin here.
Yeah. Okay, so we can see here, like he brings up Anthony, right? It started with her introducing me to Anthony's music. She told me that he was her ex. They were still in a sexual relationship. The way he treated her seemed very unhealthy. And I told her as such, but Shannon was insistent that he was good for her. To me, Shannon's probably always been this fucking disturbed, but I think meeting this Anthony guy was probably like a match made in fucking hell, right?
Yeah, they
fucking demons.
Psycho people find each other.
Right?
It's like you always wondered how like two bugs of a species that live a mile away that have no other species around find each other. There you go. This is how it works. It's biology.
Yeah. Like I look at that and I'm just like, it doesn't surprise me. And the fact that they're still together. Oh,
Supposedly.
man.
Did they get married?
I think they got married.
Okay.
Yeah, misery loves company.
Yeah.
For the next while, every time Shannon and I would hang out, she would fixate entirely on Emily. She would point out all of what she perceived as Emily's flaws, would talk about how all of her tattoos relate to Anthony somehow, everything she could to put her down.
Total jealousy.
And the thing is, I said, like, that's not too rare, right? I've known people who, like,
it's a warning sign. It's a warning sign, though.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is.
It's a warning sign.
Yeah. I thought it was strange to fixate so much on an ex's ex, but I was desperate for anyone to help me out with my situation. So I ignored a lot of the red flags. I haven't really been able to forgive myself for that, especially considering what came next. And like, that's the thing, because I saw some people going like, why would he keep this all hidden? And I was like, hey, I mean, he's telling you that he was dealing with his own shit, and I can kind of understand that, right?
Sure.
You know, he doesn't know the person that she's talking about. He's got his own drama going on. I highly doubt that he was willing to just jump into this fucking nightmare. And I mean, can you imagine if he tried to? Fucking Shannon would have destroyed him.
Oh yeah, she's vicious.
Oh yeah. Shannon told me how she had plans to harass Emily.
Whoa, there you go.
Right?
Yeah.
But look, over here, Shannon began to cyberstalk Emily. First, starting by finding her YouTube page. She shared videos with me, and I naively thought that was harmless and it would go no further. But Shannon started looking for her home address or her phone number or any other info she could find. Now, one thing I thought was pretty interesting about this here is it got pointed out in True Sleuth's video, but Shannon claimed like she had never heard of Emily or her channel.
She played it down.
Yeah, because I guess Emily started the whole Storytime thing, and that's where it's in the title for this string.
Yeah, because she's like, I guess we kind of started the same idea about the same time. Great minds think alike. I was like, no, Emily started that first, and basically
like by 2 years.
Creeper ripped her off 2 years later, right?
Yeah, and like, you know, clearly she probably saw that Emily was being very successful with it,
right?
And she was like, "Oh, I'm going to take it from that bitch."
You know what? That I don't even have a problem with, because people do emulate things. Look, my great debate community was pretty successful at one time, and people try to rip that off. They got nowhere. Where they even made fake channels with the same name. I didn't care. I was like, yeah, it's publicity, right? Didn't care. And so I had back in the day when I started doing all these debates, and I would have debates with Ken Hovind and all these scientists, and people latched onto that, and they're doing very well on the channels. I have no ill will toward any of them. I'm like, hey, you know what? You're doing exactly what my idea was. Go for it. Good. Be prosper. Be happy. So I don't really take umbrage with that. But then her lying about it, that's bullshit. She should have been I only copied her idea. Okay.
And like, I don't think even Emily really cared that somebody else was using it, right? It was more of like, you could, I mean, you could just acknowledge that.
Telltale Atheist is a similar thing. He does a sketches why he talks.
Yeah, like, look, the thing is, like, certain times, like, you'll see someone do something, you're like, well, I want to do that too, right? I think that's a good thing, right? Yeah. But I looking in the context of all this other shit, it was more like, oh, she's doing it, so I'm going to take that from her too.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. I think so as well. Right, exactly.
Yeah. I'm speculating there, but knowing what a vindictive bitch this woman is, I just
an unfair speculation to say the least.
Yes. So Shannon told me she had plans to harass Emily either by sending her letters or prank calling her home. That's fucked up.
Yes.
Like I say this because I brought it up before, but I grew up as as a kid during 9/11.
You grew up as a kid. I think everybody did, didn't they? They start off that way.
But I grew up as a kid, like in the aftermath of 9/11. Being Arab and everything, I can tell you it's really fucking scary when you're getting those types of prank calls and shit, right?
Absolutely,
it's disturbing. It makes you feel unsafe, right?
Yep.
So I when I saw that, I didn't really bring up in my video, but when I saw that, you
felt for her. You felt the pain that she must be going through. And people,
exactly.
When people call or prank call you, and leave death threats or whatever. It's scary as shit. Now, granted, I haven't had too much of that compared to other people, so I am not saying that I'm in no way do I empathize, or excuse me, no way can I put myself in her shoes. But I know people that have had very similar stalking situations and have been harassed phone calls. It scares the shit out of them.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, they have my fucking home phone number.
Yeah.
What else do they have on me? Right? Like, what
exactly.
do they know where I live? Or are they going to be outside my door? Like,
Do
you
they know
just
where
don't
kids
know.
go to school? I mean, it's scary.
You just don't know. And it makes you feel unsafe in your own home, right?
You don't know what these people are capable of. Some of them have actually done some pretty shady shit where they've gone to people and it costed them. YouTubers have been shot. I mean, this is stuff to be taken very seriously.
Yeah, like, and just so you know, like, recently someone started sending me some weird fucking text messages and shit, right? And I've ignored it, but like, it reminds me a lot of that same fucking behavior, right? It really does, and it creeps me out. But I mean, I try to like move past it, but I know like this is something where, you know, unless you've been through it, unless you've actually been through it, it's hard to describe what it's like when you have a psychopath randomly calling you. Like, it's really hard to get that across to people, because when they say prank calls, it's not a prank, and they even put in the like the little quotation things.
Yeah, well, people think it's funny. Some people think that prank calling and trolling is and you know, I do videos against cyberbullying. I support I don't know if you heard of the Guardian Project.
No.
Guardian Project is an upcoming TV show that has a movie being made in Sundance. A friend of mine named Mark Pellegrino, he plays Lucifer on Supernatural. He's working with that, and I just had him on again on my channel the other day to talk about this.
Well, the blonde-haired Lucifer.
Yeah.
Oh,
the blonde guy. Not the Lucifer from Lucifer, because I actually like that show. I used to watch Supernatural.
Dude, I love Supernatural. Well, yeah, I stopped watching after Sam got sent to hell. Because once he came back,
that was like season 11 or some shit like that.
Dude, aren't they like season
in the
20
cage
or something?
Well, that's over now, but yeah, that was the cage.
He gets
sent.
That was a great ending for the series.
They did a good job. Yeah. Well, I never cared about the fandom. I only like Mark because we talk about philosophy. He's really into politics and philosophy, so we discuss a lot about philosophy. But we all have something in common about we are against cyberbullying, and so I help promote that on my channel. I donate some money to it. He's come on. And if people want to go check out my interviews with him. But yeah, so I'm very much against that kind of behavior. And so when I have people have come on and they've talked about these kind of things, my heart goes out to them. I mean, again, when I listened to Emily's thing, I was like, holy shit, can you imagine if my daughter had this happen to her? How my mind would be. I couldn't even think. It's unimaginable to me. And I put myself in those kind of situations. Like, how would I deal with this if this happened to my kid, or something that I cared about? And to some degree it has. People have gone after people I care about on the internet, but nothing like she went through. Holy shit. I've never seen anything like that on the internet. The degree that the CreepShow did is
well, it's like, okay.
How are they not criminal?
Well, in certain, like, I think Aura had pointed out that cyber stalking is illegal in California. So and this is the tough thing, because I think the only time where you have any sort of confirmation of the IPs being where Shannon is, it's in Oregon. I don't know the state laws over there, but potentially there are certain criminal things that you could charge her for if cyber stalking in Oregon is a crime. I think it is a crime in California. I'm not 100% on that, but there are certain things that I think you could nail her for. But not even just criminally, civilly, right?
Civil tort. Oh, absolutely. Civil tort harassment.
Because, you have these, Emily saying that she's trying to contact the previous employer to get confirmation that she was fired over the statements that were being made about her by these sock puppet accounts, right?
Didn't they send her employer some videos
like
or
photos or something?
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Okay.
So like, if she can prove that, then I think that she's got a good civil case against Shannon. And I think that like a lot of the stuff that you've seen here, like I think that she can sue her for emotional distress. I mean, like it's not like that stuff hasn't happened before. And given all the shit and how long it went on for, we talked about like it being fucking nuts and crazy, but for what, like a decade, 10 fucking years, right? 10 years. That is, I'm trying to wrap my head around it, right?
You can't, because nobody know. I mean, I've only dealt with fuckery for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, especially maybe 5, but 10 years, long time. I think, by the way, it's called tortious interference, is against the tort. It's a tort type of civil liability, where if you interfere with somebody's contractual or business relationships, that to get them fired or things like that nature, she could be sued. Now, I don't know what Emily's plans are, if she's going to sue her or not. I'm sure she's talked to a lawyer, and I'm sure they definitely know by now whether they can or can't. But either way, the court of public opinion they've judged.
Absolutely,
and ruled and executed. So,
oh gosh, I mean, like what she's lost like a fifth or a fourth of her
subscriber
count. Yeah. I mean,
that's over 500,000. She's under 400,000 now.
Yeah. So good on everybody for helping out with that. But Lexus says, hey, Crow, just looked up the law for it, and the most she would get is 1 year. I mean, yeah, but fucking
that's still a year.
It's still a year of her fucking life.
Yeah, it's still a year. I mean,
yeah, like honestly, if it can be proven in a court of law, absolutely,
right.
That like 10 fucking years of this shit. Right?
I would definitely. I'm going for criminal against Kyle eventually. I've just been civil first, but
put this bitch into a fucking padded. Like, honestly, I think Shannon's best defense to that would be, I'm fucking insane and I need to be put into a mental health institution.
Yes. Well, right now she's doing the smart thing and taking the fifth, and she's not saying anything, which shows she has some mens rea. She has some state of mind where she knows anything she says right now is going to be used against her. They'll annihilate her.
According to Kevin, right? Kevin says that he has more things on Shannon, but he doesn't want to release those because they could lead to doxing. But here's the thing. He seems pretty open. Like, Emily contacts him and says, hey, I need to send this to my attorney. Can you forward it over to me? I'm pretty sure Kevin is going to give it to her. I don't know what it is, but it could, he could be sitting on an actual smoking gun on Shannon, right? And we might not have any idea. Right, he could have her fucking admitting to everything.
There. I think the idea is, but I'm sure he has more, and like I'm sure that Emily probably is doing legal action. I did leave a comment to Emily, and I've messaged her, and obviously she's not going to say anything more, as far as like the IP address that she has. I'm sure she has that. I'm guarantee. I would bet money on that. Anything she has said, I bet she has actual evidence for, but she doesn't want to release because of doxing purposes. And I understand that, although I don't understand why the IP is any big deal, but I know where she's coming from, right? But I'm sure that Kevin does. I'm sure he has probably information that, would require the release of very sensitive personal information, and he doesn't want to. But if she asked him or has asked him for it, he would definitely give it to her. Why wouldn't he?
Well, I think the most important thing about what Kevin can provide is that would fall under California law, because that would be when Shannon was in California, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, California law is a little bit different when it comes to things like cyber stalking, and it's a little bit more punitive than I think other states are. Again, I'm not claiming to be any type of legal expert, but I think that it'd be far more damning if he's got evidence of Shannon doing this stuff in California. Right?
It wouldn't surprise me at all. Yeah.
Nope. But this is a state law for California that specifically targets cyber harassment, such as doxing. It makes it illegal for any person to use an electronic device, such as a computer, phone, or tablet, to harass, torment, terrorize, or cause injury to another person with no legitimate purpose. I mean,
I don't know what legitimate purpose would be, but yeah, okay. But I mean, I've read something like that before, and I've seen that little caveat with no legitimate purpose. I'm like, I don't know what it would entail, but yeah, doxing itself, and I've said this before, and I got crap for it, but it's true. Doxing itself is not illegal into itself. Doxing is against the law if you're using it in conjunction with harassment and that kind of things. But I've got, how many times I get accused of doxing every other day. I've never doxed anybody. I get accused of harassment. I've never harassed anybody. People think I have a million fucking accounts. I don't have. I got accused of having dozens of sock accounts. I have 4 Twitter accounts, 4. 3 of them are business related, and the other one actually none of them, but the one I use on Twitter, have I ever messaged anybody with, DM wise or otherwise. So they're just accounts, one is like for the Caffeine Corner, one was from DEFCON 1, and then I have a little parody one that has like 7-8 tweets on it. Never tweeted to anybody directly, and never DM'd anybody on it. And yet people love to throw that out there. Oh, look, all these, somebody has all these sock accounts. Well, here we proved, they proved that Shannon did have a bunch of IP sock accounts. And I'm sure that she did on Twitter as well.
Oh gosh. Oh man. Like I can you just imagine how deep that rabbit hole must go?
Well, and I like them to pursue that. They keep records of that shit.
A decade. Well, also Kevin says like, he's trying to get access to his old Facebook account because he thinks that there are messages between him and Shannon on it. Right. And I know he said like, I don't know if that's really neat or anything. He absolutely needs to go find those messages and see if he's got any statement from Shannon in which she names Emily and talks about doing any of this stuff to Emily. Because if he has that,
any mention of Amy,
oh gosh,
which I do think is a play on her name, that makes sense to me. But here's my thing: I don't show private DMs. Even people that have maligned me, even people that have turned against me, I do not release their private DMs until they do it first, and then I will in response. I have no choice at that point. But there has to be some egregious reason why I have to do anything like that, because I take privacy very seriously. Because I have people coming to me for stories. I'm not a journalist, but I obviously I do stories. If people come to me with privacy and they say, I don't want this released, I don't care if they become the worst person on the planet. I'm not releasing that stuff unless there's going to be immediate danger of criminal activity or something like that. And I have long had that standing for my policy not to show private communications. And if he has something very similar, I can completely understand that.
Yeah.
I can completely understand that. And Emily sounds like she does too. And I respect that. I really do. I think that people just that willy-nilly say, look, I have this message from somebody. Let me go show it to the world. Who the hell is why would you want to message that person? If somebody's going to release your DMs and all your messages, why would you want to talk to that person? Because they've done it to somebody else. They'll do it to fucking you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the case of like these specific DMs, I think the important thing would be if you can show Shannon talking about doing this to Emily, right? Yes. Then I think that only strengthens a criminal or a civil case against
directly
Shannon.
To Emily. I don't think he needs to make it in public unless
he doesn't. Yeah, right. I think he needs to find it. I think he needs to get those DMs. I think he needs to get them to Emily so Emily can pursue her in actual court of law.
I'm so happy that Emily was able to get some justice here. Like I said, I didn't know her, but my God, my heart dropped on that video. This sucked. I was like, damn, this is bullshit right here.
Yeah. And again, I was critical of the video in the sense of like, when she opens it up, she says that she doesn't have a lot of the receipts.
She actually had more than I expected. And Truth Sleuth did a really good job.
There was a lot in there. There was a lot in there. Right.
Yeah.
But, I had to point out, like, even the people who were really supportive of Emily while we were watching it were telling us to just skip over segments of her video, right? That was where I was like, hey, I got to be critical of that, right?
No, but I watched the whole thing.
Well, I mean, when I was on stream, I literally had to. I had everybody telling me to do it, including the people supporting Emily. Tell me to skip over this stuff.
It on your channel. I got you.
Yeah. But I sat through and I watched that part that we didn't get to. And look, I feel like everybody, John, Aura, everybody feels bad for Emily when we watch the video. I can be critical of the video, but I can still say like it pisses me off.
It does. Yeah, because people have been warning people about Shannon, and I mean, I don't know how anybody ever watched her stuff because she always came across as a mean girl to me. And when I had my 2 videos that I did, it was only I was addressing her methodology. Because again, as somebody who likes science and things of that nature, I was like, look, your method of going about saying certain things, you need evidence for. I'm a strong believer. I'm not an evidentialist in philosophy, but I do very much believe in evidence, right? If you make a claim, you provide evidence for it. This is pretty standard in the skeptic community, right? Yeah. And so even I am really hesitant to even say things that I do not have in my possession the actual documentation for. In case somebody says, Steve, where's your documentation with it? I may not make it public, but I can say I have it in private. If you want to meet me in a Discord thing or whatever, I'll show it to you. That's fine. But you have to have that documentation. When she was talking, you can tell she had documentation of what she needed to, and when she did it, she made it very clear. I respect that because Shannon, on the other hand, will throw out whatever the fuck it takes to say this, out there to make people believe her story. So she's the victim. It was all about persecution. It was all about victimization of her being the victim, because that's what a lot of these people do. They make themselves be out the victim. And this was, I've never seen like this. She not only made herself out to the victim, she went on Lil's Cal to pretend to be somebody else so she could play the victim. That's I've never seen anything like that before.
Well, I mean, like she would run these sock puppet accounts, contact Emily, and go, "Hey, Shannon's stealing your art."
Yeah,
right. Like Shannon, well, not your like stealing your thumbnails and shit.
Yeah,
like
she
that.
wanted to get in shit with her. Yeah, exactly.
Look, like it's just
don't fabricate drama. That's the takeaway. These commentator accounts that want to just do commentate, that's fine. Got no problem with them. Some of them I actually get along with pretty decently. But if you're going to fabricate drama, you are a shitty person. You did not deserve to have, a platform to spew garbage, and you should be called out for it. And she got caught. She did exactly what people. She used to bitch at people doing this stuff because she was doing it.
Yeah. No, I mean, look. I get her reputation is fucking destroyed, right? It is.
I hope so.
Like, I mean, how do you come back?
Dude, I've seen cockroach come back. Look, I know people that I've known for 6-7 years that are the most vile, morally reprehensible people on the planet. They still have channels upwards of 60,000 subs, and people think they're like the God's gift to YouTube. And I'm like, dude, you do not want to be in the same room with these people, kind of thing. They are just, you don't know what they've done prior to these channel, how they would go and do reprehensible things to people online and troll them. They're just shit people. But of course, people forget about the past, right? They don't see any of that history. And God forbid, and me coming on and saying, look, this person, 8 years ago was such a shitty person. They would harass people. They would call people's work. They would call people's landlords. Oh, that person wouldn't do any of that. Do you have evidence? No, I don't have evidence for that for 8 years. That's why I don't say specific things about who had done things like that, because I don't have the evidence to back it. But I know I was there when some people do some shitty shit. People know that she's been doing this shitty shit for a long time, dude. People had to know that CreepShow Art had been doing this, and a lot of them just stood by and did nothing.
True. And like CreepShow Art can be Tiffany instead of Amy when she comes back. Like, I mean, one of the possibilities is like Shannon just abandons being CreepShow Art, fucks with her like audio a little bit, and just pretends to be someone else entirely. Right?
I don't even see that. What I see is this.
But like, she could.
She could, but this is what I usually see. I'm going to delete my Twitter and my YouTube channel. I'm going to start all brand new. And I'm a new me. I've learned the lessons of my past, kind of thing. This is how people do these redemption arcs, right?
There's no redemption.
I don't think I'm going to go on a limb and think this is one of the very few times I don't see a redemption arc happening. But I've been surprised before, so nothing is definitive.
Well, again,
but I was so disappointed in the internet if that happened. So
if it was just the lolcow stuff, I think you're completely correct.
But like the Emily stuff, not
that's a year. A year is enough.
Yeah,
10 years.
What kind of shit person would you have to be to support her after this? And I understand people going, but people have forgiveness. God commands people to forgive. No bullshit. It doesn't work that way. Some people are not deserving of forgiveness. And even if they do deserve forgiveness, you can say, look, I forgive you. Stay the fuck away from me and everybody that I care about.
Yeah.
And the internet.
The thing is, though, and again, this is why I want Kevin to get into that Facebook account, right? Do whatever it takes to get into that account. Look for those messages, get them to Emily, because I think the only way that Shannon stops her fucking behavior is if she actually faces some type of consequence, whether that be a padded fucking cell, or she loses everything.
But even then, she's going to change. These people don't change. They get caught.
She's not going to change. Yeah. She's not going to change. But look, the thing is, this went on for 10 years and she faced no consequence for any of it, and just became emboldened to keep fucking going, right?
Because no consequences, they get emboldened, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I get that she's not going to stop. If she if cyberstalking is only like a year in prison, I mean, obviously, a year is a long time, right? Maybe that gets her to stop because maybe she doesn't want to go back to a fucking jail cell, right?
Your Lexus Fury says it perfectly. A sociopath doesn't have feelings. They just emulate them. They're exactly true. They emulate them because they don't know what it's like to have these real feelings of, hey, I ain't doing something to harm somebody, because they don't get that. They think they get a kick out of it. They love negative attention. They don't understand things like empathy. They can't put themselves in somebody else's shoes. And that's how a lot of trolls exist. They get off harming other people. They are sociopaths, so they have to fake it. And you could tell, I could tell from the moment I ran into Shannon, she was not real. I was not buying into any of her bullshit. And that's why I think she went after me, because she knew I was not going to be, she couldn't fucking play me.
No, like, dude, it's how do I put it, right? I see Shannon as, like, I know people said like sociopath and everything. I don't know if she is one, right? Just to be clear, but
borderline at the very least. Borderline. I don't.
Yeah,
she's not a psychopath. Yeah, and she's not a full-on sociopath, maybe, but she's definitely borderline.
I will say that I can't look at that situation. A decade of pulling this shit. There's got to be something wrong upstairs. Right. Yeah, there has to be.
Yeah, and I'm not qualified to diagnose anybody medically. Just lay it like anybody else. But if it's not psychopathy or sociopathic tendencies, there's something malignant about her. There's something evil about her to do this. This is not normal behavior from people that go, "Hey, I'm going to go on the internet and talk about people." No, this was not like that.
Yeah, you're right. This is evil. This is what evil looks like.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I know I keep saying it, but like, it's still, I can't fucking believe it. A decade of this. And you know what? Like, Emily talked about how, they had pushed her into, contemplating suicide and shit. And I get it, because like, I know how it made me feel when I was being,
and I believe her. I believe
right?
her. I don't. When other people are like, "Oh man, I'm just contemplating suicide," you kind of have to pull yourself back and go, "Wait a minute, is this person being serious or not?" If Shannon at this point, even if Shannon would say right now, going, "Hey, look, this is a lot happened to me. I really am thinking about committing suicide." She might be, because she might actually be that distraught. I don't know, right? But a lot of people use that as a weapon. Oh, I'm feeling so down. They want the attention, and it's hard to know who deserves that attention and who doesn't, because we as humans only have so much to give. We have a reservoir of empathy for people. Once that's tapped, it takes a while to replenish. Just like when we get hurt, it takes a while to get replenished. When we fall in love and we get hurt, you don't fall in love the next day again very easily. It takes a while to replenish these types of emotions. They're very complicated, and so when somebody like Emily was saying that she was contemplating suicide, I absolutely believe her. Absolutely, I believe her.
I mean, like you went after her. You went after her family. You got her fired from her jobs. You went after her career. You called her nonstop, like just insane shit, and you did it for a decade, right? That's evil. There's no other way around it. That's just evil. Like this.
I mean, I've had people threaten to do stuff. People are like, "Oh, I'm going to call the FBI on Steve. I'm going to call all these organizations on Steve, and the police on Steve, and threaten to call my landlord." And my landlord's like, "I don't give a flying fuck what Steve does." And yet they never find any evidence for anything. It's like, what have I ever done? I basically had a YouTube channel with somebody. I got fucked over. I had money stolen from me. I took them to court, and I'm the bad guy. And so now you're going to harass me and the people I care about over that? Okay, that's great. But yeah, so I don't know, man. I'm sick of the drama, to be honest. And this isn't even drama. This is reality.
Yeah,
drama I don't consider this drama. Yeah.
No, it's not. Like, the drama is two people having fucking beef over stupid shit, right? And they're calling each other out.
He cheated on me. Oh, yeah, that's drama.
Yeah,
this is evilness.
This is just evil. I mean, I've seen some like malicious, petty, vindictive behavior, but like, this is just fucking
off
evil.
The charts.
Fucking decade. Oh my god.
Well, at least it all came together at one time. And I think that was very fortunate. Because again, timing is everything on this stuff. I suck at timing. Excuse me. And so things that I've said in the past were probably bad timing. I should have waited till I had my ducks more in a row. And I learned from that. We all learn from our mistakes. Hopefully, I mean, when you grow, you've been at this for a while. I'm going on 7 years. And we're not the same people we were 7 years ago. We don't even think the exact same things. And I don't think somebody like Shannon grows as a person. I don't think she learns from her mistakes. I think she thinks that she has to go out of her way to have this front, to have this personage, because if people found out what she was really like, which they have, she knew that they would not like that because most people that have a conscience, most people that do have empathy, do not like this type of behavior. They don't like people threatening people, harassing them for 10 years, going after their family, trying to make them commit suicide, at least push them to that limit, or affecting their work in real life. Because again, not only do they feel for them empathetic wise, they do not want to be in that position. They are scared. I'm not going to be around this person. If she can do it to this person, she could do it to me, kind of thing. Right.
Yeah. Look, I mean, if she's willing to, like, the thing is, and someone said, like, Emily didn't do anything to her. Emily didn't know her. Emily didn't know her. Emily became a target because Emily used to date her then boyfriend, right? That's what all this was about. That's
what started from. I think it long progressed after that.
Well,
I think that was the catalyst, the nucleonic, what's called the nucleation point.
Yeah.
But I think that, of course, it took on a life of its own. And I mean, I'm happy that she was able to get all out and get. I mean, she literally was able to tell her story, and that is a Me Too type thing. People have abused Me Too to no end, but her story is a Me Too story.
No, I mean, like, look, I mean, a decade.
She's the victim.
A fucking decade, right? Like, because, you know, we cover a lot of stories on our channel, right, where people get accused of something, and we try to rationalize out, you know, could they have done it? Could they not have done it? You know, what's the rational explanation for it? Go over the evidence. Right. You know, if there's holes in the evidence, we dig into it, because I'm very clear before I condemn someone for something, right? I want to make sure I get it right.
That's why I get along with you. That's what we promote on, you know, the Great Debate community. That's what we promote on our channel. We want people to look at the evidence. And when people don't, we're like, what the fuck is going wrong with these people? You know, you can have like a mathematical proof of some simple math, and they'll be going, that's not evidence. It's like, it's a proof. What do you want? It's the same thing. It's like, here's people in their own words saying things, like Shannon saying, you know, being in the library, and her husband saying, oh, well, we wanted to be homeless and we planned on it. And then Shannon later on going, oh, well, we were homeless and we need money and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh God.
Yeah.
It kills me.
No, that's the thing, right? Because I've been told, like, I don't care about the victims and things like that. I'm like, no, hold on. The actual victims, I want to make sure the person actually faces.
Yeah, we care about victims who are victims. People. Yeah. I mean, many of my friends, one of which was in here earlier, you know, going to Unicorn. People have been victimized. They see the signs. Yeah. Right. And so we do know victims that are real victims of their things.
I mean, my family members, right? I've had to go through this with my own family members, right? Like, I understand. It's like, I want to make sure I get it right, because I actually want to see people face consequences.
Absolutely.
I'm not about the social media fucking call outs. That guy's a groomer. Let me go to Twitter. I'm not calling the cops now. Like that.
Anybody can do that salacious type journalism. That doesn't take a genius for that.
No,
it is doing the due diligence to find the evidence and bring it to the table.
But like 10 years of this shit, like, I mean, there's no denying it, right? To me, there's no real denying it, because there's just too much. And the only explanations for how Shannon couldn't have been responsible are so asinine and absurd, and you need a lot of them, right? It's not like,
I'm just saying it's possible.
No, it's possible. Bro, don't even get me started with aliens.
Hey, dude, you think it's funny, but I shit you not, because Kyle had evidence dated in August when the account wasn't open until October, and some people were trying to say, well, maybe he created time, maybe he time traveled, kind of thing. It's like, it's funny, right? But at the same time, we're thinking some of these people might actually believe this, that Kyle invented time travel. That's a reasonable explanation, isn't it? But the same thing here. Are these reasonable explanations of Shannon's behavior? No, they are not.
No,
absolutely not.
No, the reason I said don't bring up aliens, because I'll start talking about aliens.
I'm fine with aliens. They leave me alone. I leave them alone.
It's one of my favorite subjects. Honestly, it is.
It's the Greys you got to work out for, anyways. Those motherfuckers are mean, man.
The gray ones.
Yeah, the Greys.
Okay. We got to stop. I'm gonna go off.
We'll have a different show.
Dude, that'd be great.
I have a friend I can bring on. He's a lobbyist. He's the only paranormal lobbyist on UFO out there. I forget his name, but he has a web thing that he does, and he actually lobbies for release of UFO footage. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I get his newsletter every so often.
Okay, because like, how do I say it? Hold on. It's been a little bit. But like, Ruben Langdon, right? He's been on our channel before, and he was on our channel, and we just talked about aliens, and it was fucking great, right? It was fucking great. I love it.
Do you know who Stephen Bassett is? Because he's the one I'm talking about. Does his name ring familiar?
His name's been brought up. Like, that's the guy?
Stephen Bassett, yeah. He's been on my show.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to talk to him. I really want to. I want to do like a fun stream one day. Like no.
I want to get Linda Moulton
shit,
Howe.
no drama shit.
Is Linda Moulton Howe still alive?
Like
she used to do Art Bell commentary. I think she's still alive.
I'm not. I don't know who that is.
Oh, I remember Art Bell back in the day.
No, the YouTube channel or something.
You're just a kid. No, Art Bell was a very. He passed away, but he was out of Pahrump, Nevada. He had a very successful show late at night on the radio, AM Coast to Coast. And
we watched one of his things. I don't think he is alive anymore.
No, he passed away. George Norrie took over for him. But I used to listen to growing up to Art Bell all the time. Now I don't I don't believe in any of that stuff. I just find it interesting. Yeah, those were the days. But anyways,
well, honestly, because I don't know if I have too much more to go over on the Shannon situation. Like, I don't think there can be any more real news about it. I think that Shannon's reputation and career on YouTube is just done. Well, I think you're right. Like, she could just disappear and then try to come back and, maybe like privacy complaint Emily's video and try to get like shit taken down, or I don't know.
I don't think that would do much good for her, but I mean, you never know what you see. You can't play. See how
bitch is crazy.
Right, exactly. Look, I am very good with predicting the behaviors of people that are normal people, right? But when you're not normal, they're irrational, and I can't predict irrational behavior, So, but we are gonna. If you want to drop on by my channel on the 24th, I think we're doing a show at 5:00. You're more than welcome to come on in. Cheshire and I are going to be talking about this. We're going to be kind of going over some of the other videos, because I've watched a lot of videos on this, which I normally don't do. I don't have any interest in a lot of this stuff. This I was interested in, and I watched all these videos.
I have work until 8, but I can probably get off a little early that day. I'll let you know, because I'm actually really interested in going. And like, I feel like I sound like a broken record, right? I do. I feel like I sound like a broken record, but I feel like I have to keep talking about this because it's just so fucking insane.
I get it. I get why people talk about stuff, right? And I have a lot of videos that I did talking about stuff, and all I got was fucked over by talking about stuff because I didn't have any support. When you're the lone voice out there of reason, and bigger YouTubers like CreepShow decide to shit on you, it's very difficult to get your voice above the white noise. I mean, because they use their toxic fandom as weaponry, and so I'm just very grateful.
She absolutely did.
Absolutely, she did. I know she did.
Absolutely.
I believe in thousands of people, man.
Anyone she had beef with, she would start shit with people, right? And if they tried to comment on her, she would bring up how they're traumatizing her again, and just gloves fucking go off, and people just get rabid, right? I've seen her fucking do it to people. I saw her do it to my fucking friend, right? It's fucking evil person. Well, I'm looking forward to your show next Thursday. I am going to do my best to make it on for that, because I want to be there. And I want to keep tearing into this absolutely insane evil woman. But we're going to be talking about the situation with Scott Cawthon, the creator for Five Nights at Freddy's. Have you heard about that at all?
Mm-mm. I know Five Nights at Freddy's, but I don't know.
So someone decided randomly, and I don't know why, to dig through his political donations and found out that he donated to Trump.
Oh.
Yeah. And immediately, and the thing is, I guess I could kind of understand if it was because these were like massive amounts. Like he was setting up like super PACs and millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars and shit. But he donated like $2,500 to Trump. And
I would be like embarrassed as shit, to be honest with you.
I mean, like, look, whatever you think, right? The guy made a political donation.
Yeah, I don't
right?
care. I don't care if people make political donations. I would just never give a dime to Trump. I just would be like, are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, like, look, at the end of the day, it's what he believed in, right? It's
Yeah,
whatever,
that's fine.
right? And it's like it's a small donation. It's not like politics are in the fucking Five Nights at Freddy's games,
Yeah,
right?
not
It's
at
not
all.
like it's not like the fucking bear shows up and it's going.
Nobody should be canceled over stuff like that. If that's what you're asking me.
Yeah, it's not like the fucking bear shows up and it's got a fucking Donald Trump wig on. It's going, I'm gonna grab you by the pussy. Like it's not like it's
right.
not in the fucking
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I just give you a chat in the internal. People are talking. People may not know. There's a lot of backstory on a lot of this stuff. People may not know that they're talking about like Without a Crystal Ball, who actually came from my channel, the Non Sequitur show. It was my producer. Well, I mean, this is all public record. It was my producer that got her started with her channel. He's no longer with us. He passed away. We are all recovering from that. But there's a whole backstory on that as well. But if people want to, find my channel, and they could watch this on the CreepShow thing that we have coming up on the 24th.
Let me give people this link because it's the full playlist, right? 20 videos.
Yeah, it's a playlist, a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want more information on Without a Crystal Ball, like you should really watch this shit. Like we covered it. It's like we're like it's like this is a deep dive. Like give it a watch. Like you have to like if you're interested in that situation. You need to check out Steve's channel for it. So here's the link for the playlist. Lacking a little bit. There you go. Make sure you guys have that saved and you watch it because, again, it's really good stuff.
You might have to put it in the live chat.
Yeah, I put it on screen.
Awesome.
Yeah. But
I have 2,000 videos on the internet, so I have a lot to watch. Literally, I mean, I've all these on 3 different channels. I have done through 2,000 videos. That's a lot of videos.
Yeah. Anyways, so like he made political donations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Small, and these are small donations. We're not talking about a guy, who's using his Five Nights at Freddy money and millions of dollars going into Trump. It's like $2,500, right? It's whatever. But people for some reason decided to look into it, then posted a list of all of his political donations, right? And it led to him getting doxxed on Twitter.
That's not cool.
They were sending death threats to him, making death threats towards his pregnant wife.
That's
right?
insanity.
Right. And he made a statement on Reddit, and it was basically, look, I donated to people who I thought would be best for the country. I've always had diversity in everyone I've worked with, and it's not something I planned for. It's just it happened because I want to work with the best people possible. I'm not going to apologize for having the beliefs that I have. I'm Christian, I'm Republican, and that was basically it, right? And he said, if I'm being canceled for it, I will take that. And if I need to retire because I don't want to take away from this thing that I built, right? I'll retire. And I guess recently he's announced that he is going to be retiring from Five Nights at Freddy's entirely. And I'm like, I really don't like that. I don't, because
that's the kind of council culture I'm not into.
No. And like even the community on his Reddit and everything, for the most part, they're all supportive of the guy, right? But you have this very small, vocal, and I can say like fucking psychotic minority of people screaming that he's a homophobe and he's a racist and he's against the LGBT community.
That's the standard playbook, man.
Well, I mean, like there are articles on Kotaku, like, and the thing that like really disturbs me, like when I read through them, he's literally getting death threats directed at his pregnant wife and shit, right?
Yeah, nothing
with his address being posted out there, and it's over donating $2,500.
That's the psychotic behavior we see, right? I mean, look, it's MAGA people are psychotic, okay, but they're also on the same. There's just as much as on the liberal that are psychotic as well. Nothing justifies that. Look, would I laugh at somebody who donated money to Trump? Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, you're pretty stupid. Would I go have a beer with them? Sure. I don't give a fuck. Do I think they need to get canceled? No. Do I think that anything justifies ever harassing people and getting family members involved? Hell fucking no. But
no, I mean that's basically it, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Aura.
Hey, Art.
Sorry, gents. I wanted to come in real quick. A little bit of breaking news. John's about to drop a video on it, but I thought I'd let you know the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's. He is retired.
Yeah. We're just talking about that.
Crazy shit, dog.
He just announced it.
He's just, you know, he probably said, look, I've had enough of this, you know, and you know, you can't blame the guy. Protect your family first. But this is the power of the internet. This is what happens when you have toxic fandom and you have psychotic people that will go after you and people you care about. And this is why a lot of us have, you know, don't say, you know, a lot of things that we want to say on the internet, but we know there's going to be retaliation, not because what we say is offensive, is because we know that there's people out there that have toxic, psychotic people as fans that would do things like this and call people and call our family. And, you know, it's not worth it. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. I've always wanted to be that person to go, look, I'm not afraid to say what I want and accept the retaliation from it if people want to do that. But I am afraid for people that I care about. And that's why, you know, it sucks, because if I didn't give a shit about other people, I wouldn't give a fuck what they do to me. But unfortunately, when you have evil people, they don't just go after you. They go after people like in this case, you know, his pregnant wife. They will do this. I guarantee it, man.
Yeah. And like, honestly, he's got to put his family first.
Absolutely, he does. I get it. I totally get it, man.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know if it's okay if I put John's video in the chat.
Dude, do it. Yeah, actually, you know, guys, I know we said we're going to cover the Five Nights at Freddy's more, but do me a big favor. To anyone who was here for that, drop the link to John's video. We're going to end the stream here because we spent a lot of it talking about the Shannon situation. I hate to bait and switch you guys, but check out John's channel because we largely have the same opinion on this stuff. Go there, watch his video going over him announcing his retirement. Or did you link it already?
I'm about to. First of all, thank you, Steve, for coming on. Thanks for, you know, hanging out with Crow and stuff. And sorry I couldn't make it chat. Yeah. Sorry I couldn't make it chat, but I'm going to drop the link. Y'all take care. All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aura.
Yeah. No, yeah. Thank you, Crow, for inviting me on. Like I said, I really wasn't. I had no plans on ever talking about this publicly, except for the one time we're going to do a one and done on the 24th. But I had to say something, you know, and I'm glad everybody else is. I'm glad CreepShow is getting what she deserves. I mean, when you're this kind of shitty person, I don't have empathy for that kind of person. I think they deserve everything they can get as long as it's within bounds. I never go after people's family, never, you know, do anything unethical, but canceling as far as like not subscribing. Yeah, that to me is just retribution. Unsubscribing and just not supporting these people. That to me is what I consider to be a proper response. Don't support shitty YouTubers.
No,
right?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Look, I'm looking forward to your show on Thursday. I'm going to do my damnedest to get there. Or I beat you with the link to John's video. But click on either my link, click on Aura's link. Go support John. Go check it out if you want more information on what's going on with Scott right now. Again, thank you so much for dropping in today, Steve. No, it's midnight, so I guess it's the next day. I'm looking forward to the Thursday show. And if you guys aren't already, make sure you subscribe to Steve Mcrae. Check out his playlist on Without a Crystal Ball. It's a ton of information. It's just a ton of fucking info. But I'm going to play the outro. Steve, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, man. Like I said, I really want to start promoting again good content creators, and you know, I might start calling out up again people that I've seen this kind of behavior. Now that we've seen what can happen when people don't speak up, I'm a little more motivated to do so. After Kyle's hearing on the 25th, I might start doing it again, but I'm going to do it on my other channel. I'm not doing my main, but I'll do my Great Debate Community channel. But I think I might, because I miss those days. I miss calling people out and having the evidence to back it up. It's kind of a, hey, you know, either believe me or don't, but here's the evidence, decide for what you will, be objective. And then I get to determine, you know, to myself, are these people that are really wanting evidence and to be objective, or are they just fucking sea lioning and trolling people and trying to harm people? And it's very black and white with me. I think that a lot of people fall into one category or the other. Either they're the kind of people that will go out of the way to help you, or they're the kind of people that come out of the way to harm you. I see very few people in the middle ground. They do exist, but the people I associate with are the ones I want to help. I cultivate them, and I call the ones that don't want to help. And that is how I live my life in the channel. And so I will have you on, Crow, like I said, love to have you on the 24th if you're available, because you know a lot about the situation, and Cheshire, I'll be fine with it. But I'm going to bug her out so you can end this and do your exit. And thank you guys for listening, and come find me on my channel, Steve Mcrae, and come watch my stuff. I got some pretty cool stuff, I think.
Yeah, he does. I can confirm that.
Peace, buddy. I'm gonna bug her out so you can do your extra.
Have a good night, man. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in again to Crows of Judgment, and it's everybody's favorite time when I finally get off the mic and we play the outro. And you know what it is.
My name is Richard. I am Darkside Phil. Oh my god. I really need to make this fucking money. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I'm done. Why am I poisoned? What? Why am I toxic? Why am I toxic? Phil the faggot.
Shannon's fat. Shannon's a loser. Shannon's a loser. Shannon's a faggot. Shannon's fat. Shannon's a loser. Shannon's a loser.
I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Why are you doing this to me? I just can't do it. Real talk, why? Ban anybody that says they have Apple Art. Ban anybody that says they have Apple Art. We made $1 and lost 1 subscriber. So you guys earn 3 minutes of commercials. I don't spill my fingers. I touch my face. Did something that's a twitch. Did something that's a twitch. Got no bitch in my blood. 0 bitch in my blood. Honestly, straight live in people's faces. I don't spill my fingers, right? That was my depression. I need that money for my bills, electric bill, the internet bill. That was my depression. I need that money for my bills, electric bill, the internet bill. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Why are you doing this to me? I just can't do it. Why am I toxic? It was like a lonely. Why am I toxic? It was like a lonely.
Shannon's a faggot. Shannon's fat. Shannon's a loser. Shannon's a loser. Shannon's a faggot. Shannon's fat. Shannon's a loser. Shannon's a loser.